Hello everyone and welcome to the official channel for the brand new trading card game, Cosmic Creatures. This is going to be the first video on this channel, so I've decided to go over some of my plans for this card game. Warning, a large majority of artwork for this card is not great, however it is required on a card to be considered a trading card. I'm not an artist, I'm a person who plays card games and makes his own. With that out of the way. So I thought for this first video I'll just go over some of the cards currently in the game. There are currently 47. So I don't think I'm going to cover all of them in a video, so I've just picked out a few, whether it's because of the artwork I like, or I think the effects will make them very powerful. So the first card we got here is for the archetype Hexes, which is their boss monster Colossus. As you can see, he's got the gems, he's made of the other three, which will probably be on screen, it's where I can be able to edit. So his effect is he can only be cast from the hand, meaning when you've got other cards that can just special cards out from the deck, it essentially means he's limited to only the hand. But his effect is he has an interrupt, which means he can negate opponent's cards very easily. And personally, I think he's very strong when the game gets complete. I still think, while hexes themselves don't seem that strong, I think Colossus will stay very strong because his negate is so good. And one big thing about it is he can shuffle cards into the deck, which is a very good effect to have, and I'll go more in depth on that in my rules video, which I'll probably do next week. So then, the next card I've got is Math Magician Gorm. So this is part of the Math Magician archetype. I've got one from each archetype. So this archetype revolves around dealing damage, and it's meant to be a deck that can win in one turn. However, to limit this, and make it so they can't just flat out dominate, all of them have the effect where at the end of your turn you heal all the damage that the creatures do. Now Gorm has one of the weaker effects. So when Gorm is cast, you deal 1 damage to your opponent. This is an instant effect and it happens upon his when he is cast. I can't speak today. So he's sort of basic, but he works in the archetype as a decent damage dealer. Necessarily, I wouldn't want to see him too often in the game, but he is a very good card in my opinion. Plus, he's one of the very few artworks of a human that I actually like in this game. So moving on, we've got the K-Bot archetype. We've got the first card here, K-Bot Red, which is the symbol of fire in the thing, and to sum it up, his effect is Burn, which allows you to sacrifice 1 creature you control to deal 1 damage to your opponent. Now, to limit this from becoming too OP and stopping loops, it can only be used once per turn, which I feel like still makes the effect good because damage is very hard to put out when you get onto certain points in the game. So then, the last card for the archetypes I've got is the archetype I'm currently working on, which is Silverfang Moonglow, which is a very interesting concept of a card. I'm not very good at drawing animals, as you can see, but it has an instant effect like Gorm, but it can only activate if you control another Silverfang, which is the effect of the archetype. They only work with other Silverfangs because they're wolves pack animals, works that way. So this one allows you to cast another beast type creature from your deck, so it's a very powerful card in getting more creatures out, which is something this deck definitely would want to do. Now, I've got 2 other cards here as well, which I just like the artworks, so I thought I'd show them as well. So we have Unorthodox Bond, which is a spell card. It's normal, and it has the effect where you can select 1 creature you control, and then cast 1 creature from your deck with a different mark and type, which is incredibly powerful. I'll go into this more in depth when I do my rules video, but this essentially means you can play any 2 creatures from your favorite cards, for example. So one card that I like but I haven't put on this list is Cyber Husky, who is eligible for this if I'm playing a different type of deck. I'll go into it more in a rules video, but it's a good concept and I would hold on to it. And then the last card we have is Scavenger Spider. Now this is one of the weaker cards, and personally I just like the artwork, so I thought I'd throw it in this video as like a little bonus one. But his effect reads, once per turn you can send a world type spell card to the Necropolis to give all creatures with less than 1,000 strength Sneak. Now what Sneak does is allows the opponent to attack directly and deal damage, which is a very good effect to have. And the ability to give it to multiple cards makes him a very powerful card despite his low strength. So he is also part of a scavenger archetype, which is a mini archetype in the Steel set. Now, what these do is they send world spell cards to the graveyard, or necropolis is what I'm calling it, to essentially get effects. And I think Scavenger Spider does that very well, because it's a balanced effect in that it can only be less than 1,000 strength, but it's a very good effect that makes up for his low strength. Okay, this is going to be the end of my dev video for the first one. So if you have enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, because there'll be another one coming out next week, which will be my rules video, and I'll probably do another video coming soon about all the cards currently in the game. Because this was very brief, I just wanted to keep it that way intended. So, if you have enjoyed, leave a like, and otherwise I'll see you in the next one.